Hey everyone, welcome back to MOVIEidol. So I want to talk about episode 6 of The Walking Dead titled Bonds. I really enjoyed tonight's episode. It was super hilarious. A lot of fun moments from Beta and Negan, some stuff from Alpha, a lot of awesome scenes between Carol and Daryl, a lot of fun stuff with Sadiq and Dante. I mean, tonight's episode was hilarious. Again, I really enjoyed tonight's episode. It was probably the funnest episode of this season so far. There's so much to talk about, but before we begin, I do have to warn you for spoilers, obviously, for tonight's episode. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this. I will be posting a trailer breakdown later on tonight, after this video's out, obviously, for episode 7. I was planning on doing a video potentially if we got some Rick Grimes news from Scott Gimple, but it seems like he has canceled his appearance on Talking Dead, which really sucks. There's not going to be any news surrounding anything with Rick Grimes and all that this weekend, but maybe he'll be back next weekend, or I'm sure at some point in this first half. At least I'm hoping so. I mean, there's a chance he probably wouldn't have even announced anything anyways, but I don't know. Because he's coming on Talking Dead right now, I have a good feeling. Yeah, but expect a trailer breakdown for episode 7 coming out a little bit later. The first thing I want to talk about, obviously, is I guess one of the major storylines in this episode was Carol and Daryl. Carol's whole mission in this episode was searching for Alpha's horde. That was the main part of Carol and Daryl's story. And from Daryl, obviously, he was super cautious about this whole entire thing. He didn't know about the mission, but, I mean, he knew Carol was up to something, and he wasn't going to let her go out on her own. And I think they both knew that each other knew about it. Daryl knew why Carol was going out there, and Carol knew why Daryl was following her, right? But I really enjoyed all the stuff that we got with them. It was really fun. A lot of fun Carol and Daryl scenes. It's so weird with Daryl. I like the way they're going with that character, but it's kind of weird in that you see a little bit of Norman Reedus sometimes, and maybe that's just a Daryl character, and maybe it's because I'm a huge fan of Norman Reedus and I look at a lot of stuff like behind the scenes interviews and, you know, stuff like that. But during scenes like that, all I see is Norman Reedus. I don't see Daryl. But I'm happy though. I'm happy Daryl's going in that direction. I definitely want a more fun Daryl, not like this grunting, lonely man who just, you know, lives in the woods and does not talk to anybody. I want Daryl to be more open because he's not that type of character. He has that side to him, but he does have that more open side. That's kind of the point to the progression of that character from the beginning, right? They captured a Whisperer though, which was kind of interesting. I do wonder what they're going to be doing with that. It's likely to get more intel on Alpha's horde. And so what I think that's going to bring, honestly, is I really do think it's just going to be that. We're going to learn more stuff about the horde, the location of the horde, Alpha's real plans and stuff like that. I think we'll learn more about who was behind all the Walker hordes and what Alpha's planning to do with that and just other little things like that. We'll talk about what happened with Negan and Alpha really soon, and I want to talk about my predictions for the last 2 episodes because tonight's episode kind of confirmed a lot of things for me. For the last episode or 2, I was really unsure in what they were planning to do with some stuff, and some things I'm still curious about, and I don't really have any predictions on it. But when it comes to Alpha and the Whisperers and what's happening here, I do think episode 8 is going to be the big episode where a big character could die potentially, but I think the Whisperer War is going to start in that episode. I don't know how it's going to start yet, but it's going to start in that episode where it's basically, you know what, screw this border, we're going to war now at this point, because like they can't keep building to that in the second half of the season, you know what I mean? I think that's the kind of the point of this first half is like, we all hate to live like this. It's hard to live with that tension and just that the restriction of, I guess it's just that boundary. It's like if you cross there, you're like, you might die, but not even that. You'll probably get someone else killed as well. And so to build all that tension, to build all this stuff up, I think that's the point of this first half. And it's a lot of fun. I am enjoying all the border stuff, but they can't continue that for too much longer because it will just be way too long. That's why I think all this border stuff is going to be done in like the next episode or 2. And I think as of episode 8, it's going to be war, which will probably be the second half, right? Who cares about crossing a border at that point? Like like the Whisper War is there. So don't expect too much talk about this border. Like that kind of happens in the comic too. Everyone follows the rules of Alpha's border. They won't cross it until the war actually starts. Then at that point, they don't really give a shit. It's kind of an area where maybe they'll meet up or something, but they don't really care. And so I think tonight's episode kind of hinted at that. It hinted at this starting. That was the point of Daryl and Carol's mission and why they kidnapped this Whisperer. And yeah, I'm excited to see where that goes. Overall, I really liked all the Daryl and Carol stuff, the stuff with Carol mentioning Connie. I like you know for a fact that there's something there because Daryl's reaction after Carol was like, you should definitely go for it or whatever. Daryl was kind of, it just his facial expression. It was like, he's definitely feeling something for her. I know it. And I think we all know it. Like we've watched the episodes. We see how he's like around her. Obviously, he really likes her. Connie seems to like him. Like I think there's something there. And I think this conversation is definitely gonna get things started, which I'm just really worried about because I think Connie's going to die. And like I've seen comments on my last video when I was saying that Connie was going to die. People were like getting mad at me about that. But I don't know. I think it's too much of a good thing for Daryl to be happy and have a girlfriend. I'm like, what? No, there's no way. They're going to kill her off. Either that or they're going to kill off the dog. And I know they promised they're going to keep Daryl's dog on for a very long time. So it's like, I don't know, can Daryl be that happy? Can he have a pet and then also have Connie? Can he actually have a girlfriend? Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, from experience, characters like Daryl, at least Daryl specifically, he just cannot be happy. So we'll see. I mean, I'd be super happy if I was wrong about this. I would love for Connie to be on. I love that character so much. To have Daryl and Connie together, to focus on them as a couple in season 11 and 12 and go into storylines with that, I'm like, I love that. But it's just, I don't know. The Walking Dead has never given me anything good like this. Whenever people are too happy, they always take it away. Now, Siddiq was back in Alexandria and he completely blacks out at one point in the episode, that was super weird. I love that though. That was super trippy. But I think this confirms that he's getting Gabriel's death. They could kill off Gabriel randomly because there was no setup for Tara's death. There was no setup for other characters' deaths in season 9. But with Siddiq, like, where are they going with this? Where are they going with this storyline right now? Because in this scene, he randomly appeared outside. It's like he literally blacked out and ended up in this random situation. I feel like what's going to happen, and this will contain spoilers for the comic and the Gabriel character and what happens to that character during the Whisperer War, but Gabriel doesn't really black out or anything like that. I can't remember exactly actually what happens, but I know he falls from the ladder or something like that. He gets stuck, and Beta basically cuts his stomach open. All this blood's coming down, his intestines are coming down and all that, and the walkers are kind of like eating at him or something like that. That's coming up very, very soon. Like, that's probably going to happen around episode 9 or 10 or something like that. Again, Angela Kang could change it around. He could be the big mid-season finale death, right? But I think Siddiq is taking that role just because Gabriel's kind of in a position where he's not really doing much right now. Siddiq has had a big role in this first half, and so to kill him off, I mean, you're servicing that character a lot, right? Like, he's had a lot of screen time in his first half. Also, in season 9, he had a lot of screen time last season as well, so I think it would make a lot of sense for him to black out randomly, and then he'll wake up, and maybe he's hanging, like, upside down on a ladder or something like that. And that's what leads to his death. Or it's something like that, you know what I mean? He's been having all these visions of like Alpha and the Whisperers and stuff. Maybe he like wakes up and he thinks that he's having another vision or something like that, but no, they're actually there. I really feel like that's where they're going with that. Now, to talk about Eugene and Rosita, they actually seem pretty cool now, which I like. I really liked how I just like how they fixed that relationship there. Like, I don't really want those characters to hate each other. Those characters are really, like, they work really well together. Now with Eugene and his potential new girlfriend, I loved all of that. I loved how they did the whole thing. All the radio stuff, Eugene working up there. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be wondering how much was that set up for the Commonwealth, and it was pretty much all set up for the Commonwealth. It happens pretty much in the exact same way. When Eugene comes to contact with Stephanie from the Commonwealth, and again, tonight they never said her name was Stephanie, but I still think it probably is Stephanie. I mean, obviously it has to be. They could change the name, but as of now, for me, that's Stephanie. But they don't reveal information about each other right away. They don't. It's sort of like this slow, gradual story that happens over, several issues. So expect some new information maybe in the mid-season finale. They could leave on a cliffhanger where she reveals that her name is Stephanie. She has a community that's like, maybe she even reveals that we have like 50,000 people here, blah, blah, blah. They reveal more stuff about that, and that's the cliffhanger going into the second half of the season. But we're going to be learning a lot of stuff slowly, and yeah, that's going to be a season 11 thing anyways. This whole Eugene storyline right now, that's all like a season 11 thing, maybe like late season 10 thing. Yeah, that's kind of exciting. I hope we learn more stuff soon about all of that. But yeah, tonight's episode, in terms of what we got with Eugene and I guess potentially Stephanie, this was like the introduction to the Commonwealth. But let's talk about Beta and Negan, because I know everyone wants to talk about that. I absolutely loved all of it. Beta bowing down to Alpha, Negan's reaction, he's just like looking at him like, what the... it was just amazing. The Beta and Negan montage was just everything. I loved it so much. I'm super happy they actually went with that. Usually I'm not a fan of when they do, like, add happy music to things and they make things into montages like that. It's like, I would have preferred to have more dialogue there. But like in that, like with just how much they did, it all made sense. It all worked. I loved it. It was hilarious. But in the end, obviously, Beta tried to have Negan killed. Beta threw him on the ground and then he was like, I ain't going anywhere. And then Beta's like, you're right. You ain't going anywhere. Kills a walker. And the walkers start coming close in on Negan anyways. And Negan's like, is that a joke? I'd laugh if I wasn't so angry. Which all ties into the ending where it's revealed, yeah, Negan did survive. He's a badass. This isn't his first time out there. There's a reason why he's still alive 10 years into the apocalypse. He walks through the Whisperer crowd, much like we've seen him do that before at the Sanctuary. He walks in with that bat. I love that shot. And then, yeah, eventually he just kind of makes his case. He's like, you better make a Whisperer suit that's big enough for my humongous balls or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he then joins the Whisperers, seemingly anyways. It seems like Alpha actually allowed him to join the Whisperers. And it's funny because I literally said that in a video I made this week. I was like, where do they go with this? There's going to be 3 options. I can't remember what I said for the other 2, But the third option, I said, like, he's definitely not going to join the Whisperers because that is what's going to happen, but there's no way he's going to join the Whisperers and just join them, and we'll see where they go with that. That ended up actually being what they did. But I was just basing that off the comic anyways, because what happens literally after this moment happens is Negan goes, talks to Alpha, and then Alpha dies. So they're dragging this out a little bit. Negan's going to still be with the Whisperers, but there's definitely a secret motive there that Negan's not telling anybody. I think he wants to kill Alpha or Beta. Like, that is still his plan. I do believe. I think he's on a mission, and that's exactly why he's going straight for the Whisperer camp. It was kind of cool though, seeing Alpha and Negan together. That was a lot of fun. Like, that's like their formal meeting. But yeah, we'll have more to talk about with this in my trailer for episode 7. I mean, this war is starting very, very soon. We're literally on the brink of it right now. I haven't watched the trailer for episode 7 yet, so when I do, we'll see if Michonne's in that episode. If she's not, then I'm guessing she's going to be in episode 8. We know that she went to Oceanside, so Oceanside will be a part of that episode. It's just, how does it relate to Michonne leaving? I really think we're going to get a clue in the mid-season finale. We have to. She's leaving in episode 12. That's the big rumor out there. And so if there's no hint in this first half, they're going to have to go crazy with all the hints in like episode 9, 10, and 11, because I don't want her ending to just be so abrupt and there was nothing leading up to it. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is I want her ending to be connected to Rick, and if it's not, I'm going to be disappointed, which is really stupid, but yeah, I can't help it. I got that theory in my head right now that that's how she's going to leave. She's going to find out that he's alive, and anything involving Rick Grimes, I think that's what I want. But overall, I really, really enjoyed tonight's episode. Absolutely amazing. I will be posting my trailer breakdown video coming out very, very soon, so make sure to be a subscriber to get that later on tonight. And yeah, I'll see you guys then.